Hi, fam. I want to say a very big thank you to all those who watched my previous videos for the comments, for the likes. I want to say I'm very grateful. If you haven't watched them already or subscribed to my channel, I advise you do so. So, today we are talking about misconceptions about being born again. Are you born again? Are you sure? Okay, so let's get to know a few misconceptions about being born again. Let's go for a short break and come back.
In my bones, I know who I am, cause Christ lives in me. Can never be down, got the victory. He keeps me from falling, I'm standing on top. No matter what happens, I'll never give up. The life of God in me, everything I need. Chin up, chest out, I was born to win, I was born to win. More than a conqueror, I'm a champion.
The first misconception about being born again, I believe, is the fact that going to church proves you're born again. No, going to church does not prove that you're born again. It doesn't. Anyone could virtually walk into a church auditorium every Sunday, and anyone of any religion could walk into a church auditorium every Sunday. That doesn't prove that a person is born again. So if you attend church every Sunday, I want you to know that that does not prove that you are born again. And don't worry, by the end of today's video, we are going to know what it actually means to be born again, or what you have to do to be born again. It's quite simple, very simple. So, first misconception, going to church every Sunday does not mean you're born again. And just pass this by. Being born into a church doesn't make you born again either. Well, if it does, then probably we are all born again because most of us were born in a church somewhere, in a village somewhere, or in a town somewhere. So being born into a church does not make you born again. So that begs the question, what makes you born again? Still, hold your horses. We will find out. So the second misconception, speaking in tongues makes you born again. No, speaking in tongues doesn't make you born again. And wait, I'm going to explain that. Speaking in tongues is an evidence that you're being born again. Let me give you a practical example. So I bring you a set of documents and I tell you that, okay, these set of documents prove my innocence. It doesn't mean that without those set of documents, I am guilty. Does it? No. So the fact that I don't speak in tongues doesn't mean I am not born again. Or the fact that I speak in tongues doesn't mean I'm born again. Do you get it? So with or without those set of documents, I am innocent. Those set of documents are just to prove to you, that is to the public, that I am innocent. So speaking in tongues is an evidence. When you read Acts chapter 1 verse 8, going to chapter 2, Acts 2, you get to know about the story of the day of Pentecost. Speaking in tongues was just to show public evidence that they have the Holy Spirit. Speaking in tongues was not supposed to prove that they are born again. So it's an evidence yet. It's showing that, hey, they have the Holy Spirit. They're able to speak in tongues. They are speaking in diverse tongues that they don't identify with from birth. So if you speak in tongues or someone doesn't speak in tongues, doesn't mean the person is not born again. There are lots of people that are being criticized, or they criticize, people criticize others and claim they are not born again because they don't speak in tongues. No. The Bible just said that you have to believe that Jesus Christ is Lord and confess with your mouth his lordship. So speaking in tongues is just an evidence that you have the Holy Spirit. Like a couple of documents is an evidence you are innocent, but you are innocent before the evidence, and you are innocent with or without the evidence. So you can be born again and still not speak in tongues. but it's expedient that you speak in tongues because you have to grow. After being born again, you have to grow. Speaking in tongues is one of the major ways that you grow. So it's good, you have to speak in tongues, but you not speaking in tongues doesn't mean you are not born again. The last misconception we talk about today is the myth that you have to be sinless before you can be born again. Mm-mm. Who needs a doctor when they are not sick? No one. Well, at least I know I don't need a doctor when I'm not sick. Actually, I dread going to doctors even when I'm sick. So the point is, the qualification for running to Christ is actually being a sinner. He came to die for us even when we were sinners. The Bible says that even yet when we're sinners, Christ came to die for us. So he didn't come for the righteous, he didn't come for the self-righteous. Let me put it that way, the self-righteous. He didn't come for that. He came for you and I. Those of us who are sinners or who were sinners. I would say were sinners because I'm not a sinner anymore. I've accepted Christ. So those of us who are not worthy, the Gentiles, he came for those people. So you don't have to be a sinless person to be born again, or you don't have to be free from all your sins. You don't have to be prim and proper. I don't know what it actually means to be sinless. I don't know why people say those things like sinless. I don't know how you can be sinless because there are so many laws, about 630 laws, and then the Bible said that if they break one, they've broken everything. So I don't know how you can live your life not performing any of this or not doing any of this 636, but you don't have to be sinless to be born again. Christ wants everyone just as they are. All you have to do is to believe and receive. Okay. So I hope you've learned something from today's episode. Leave your comments, subscribe, like, and share. See you same time next week.